Thank you so much for welcoming me. And Nikki, thank you for inviting me to this group. My name's Lisa Clifford, and I'm here if I can support you in any way. My background is I did sales for 16 years, and there was a catalyst moment when I read a book by Fiona Harrold, The 10-Minute Life Coach. If you get a chance, read that. And there was a question in it that changed my life beyond recognition. I mean, it's not even barely recognisable. It's completely different, beyond my wildest dreams at the time. And the question was, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Maybe you want to think about that for yourself. I mean, I did it in the environment of a large bottle of wine and a big piece of flip chart paper. And I did brainstorm everything I was fascinated in. Whether it frightened the life out of me to consider doing it at the time, I still wrote it down. And what transpired from that one question is that I set up my business 15 years ago. I retrained and I became a life coach, corporate coach and business coach. I did 3 courses with the Coaching Academy, spent my savings in 3 weekends training and subsequent trainings from it. And then I, with the fascination of the mind, trained with Paul McKenna and Richard Bandler to become a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming and hypnosis. You probably know it as NLP. And what I love about NLP is that every behaviour that we have is to keep us safe and protected, and every behaviour has a structure of thinking and a structure of responses. And then once we know what the structure is for our success modelling, and we know what the structure is for some of the things that are not working for us, we can look at moving those components apart so our mind is working for us. I mean, I have made it sound really simple, but you'll know what I mean. And I loved and love NLP, the mind, but there was something missing, and it was the heart. Excuse me. I was one of those people that I'd had to work so hard for everything that I had that I thought that my mind was the only tool I could draw upon. And you know, all that kind of logical thinking and that conscientiousness and that compliance and systematic thinking. And somehow, I don't know how, but I was drawn to becoming a firewalking instructor. This was 12 years ago. And because I thought, what can I do with people that help them realise that they can do anything their heart desires? And I found it really fascinating because at the time I did everything my head desired. Excuse me. And well, there's a little bit of some sneezing I did earlier. But anyway, anything our heart desires. And my brain came up with, you could be a firewalking instructor. And then became the most unbelievable heart-led journey that has lasted the last 12 years and hopefully will last the rest of my life. And it became such a powerful teaching that I now use in my coaching, in my sessions with people. I don't know how to put myself in a box, and I should do for marketing purposes, but ultimately I say I reignite your fire or reignite the fire in you, or reignite fires in teams, in audiences, and help people be unstoppable. And what I love about the firewalking is that it's a massive metaphor for life, isn't it? At the moment, people are feeling, maybe you're feeling it, I felt it from moment to moment, like from where we are now and where we're going to be. And our mind can't quite picture what life will be like. In the same way, we can't quite picture what it'd be like to walk over fire. Something that we've been told our entire life, fire burns, therefore we have a belief, fire burns. But what if I could walk over red hot coals? What happens to that belief? That belief is not true under certain circumstances, and that's when you align your heart with your mind. And so it may feel for you right now that getting from where you are now to where you want to be, or imagining what that's like, is like walking over red hot coals. A terrifying thought, an incomprehensible thought, illogical thought, and I don't know how. And the truth is, when we listen to the heart, it sounds a bit woolly, I know, but bear with me, but when we listen to the heart, its wisdom is greater than any of the thoughts our mind can come up with its logic. And our heart, we listen to the whispers of our heart, will show us what we really want and what we are going to be uncompromising towards and into experiencing. So, it's a big nutshell. How long have I been talking? 7 minutes. Blimey, what have I talked about? But in this nutshell, I want to share some videos with you that are aligned around what your needs are. I do videos for my own YouTube channel, for my own website, for my own other pages. But what do you want? What's showing up for you now? In the firewalking world, we call it oil. You know, when you add water to a pan of oil, the oil rises to the surface. This situation will bring all our oil to the surface. And I am not immune to having wobbles, to having my little bits of fear creep in, my what ifs creep in. I've got my models of thinking, and I've got my years of training to support me. Not one of us is immune to the feelings of unfamiliarity, because not one of us have lived through a time like it. And each one of us is doing our absolute best. And this is brilliant that Nikki, that you've created this group, and we all get to be together and be there for each other in our moments of wisdom, heart-centered inspiration, and support each other. So I want to know, what do you need from me? What videos do you need from me? Rather than what content you need, tell me what's coming up for you. What's your oil that's coming to the surface? What's your fears that are coming to the surface? Let's create, let's break those up. Let's reorder those. Let's put them in a place that's helpful for you. And there was another thing, wasn't there? What's the other thing? Oh yes, I mean, if you need to have a chat with me to see if I can help you any more, then of course that goes without saying. I'll drop my email address in this, then you're very welcome to. Yes, I know the other thing I was going to say. The other thing that I would like to say is, I can imagine in your work and in the specialism that you are in, that you are a perfectionist, that you are highly compliant, that you dot the I's, cross the T's, that you massively care about the people around you, the patients that you may or may not be able to see right now, your colleagues, your bosses, and you may even be the business owner that's having to carry this burden. I think I would say is, if you can, give yourself a break from thinking that you should be doing it better, or that you have to carry everything, and that you should know all the answers. If you can, just give yourself a break. And be okay with not knowing everything, not knowing how it's all going to work out. But perhaps you have some experiences from your own life that can trust that you will come out of this better. When you look at your life, when you look at the experiences that you've had, I doubt any one of you have come through life so far unscathed of challenge, which is actually life giving us our next lesson. So just rest in the thought of, I will get through this. All right, my lovelies. I should perhaps have made some notes, but my style is to speak from the heart. I'm so looking forward to being part of this group and joining in and participating with you all. And I'm here to help you however I can, whenever I can. All right, my lovelies, have a lovely day.